doing? Let me know how your day's been today. How you feeling? What messages you've been getting? Let me know. Hi, Tiffany, girl. Girl. Listen, I told you this moon is hitting me right exactly on my moon side. I'm like, okay. So it's gonna be real interesting. Definitely real interesting. But you know what? I'm really excited for this purge. I'm really excited for this purge. A lot of people would run a million miles when they start hearing purging and healing and, you know, shadow and shadow works and all this kind of stuff. For me, I'm excited. I'm ready. I'm here for it because I know that once I get through this purge, I'm going to be a completely different person in the most amazing way. You know, it's all about holding yourself through your little storms that we're going through. Hey, Jasmine. Hey to everyone who's coming in. Right, let me pull up my stuff. I actually made some notes today because I'm a typical Gemini and I will go all over the place. So to avoid that, I've made some notes of things that I wanted to cover in this live. Why is my thing not coming up? Exact on part of my portrait and everything must go to bring in this big thing. Listen, it's transformation all around. There's no time like the present. There's no time like the present. I wanted to say as well, 2019, why is my thing not coming up? 2019 is almost like the same as 1999 when we was here. If anyone remembers what it was like in 1999 when we was transitioning into the 2000. It was a very kind of, it was like something was coming, like something was preparing. And then we hit the new millennium and it was just like, boom, so much new stuff happened. So much new things was invented, like just went like crazy. Like life was just not the same anymore. Our reality was not the same anymore. This is the same type of energy that we're moving into with 2020. 2020 is a leap year. So this is like a quantum leap that we're hitting in 2020. And you have to be prepared for this leap. You have to be prepared for this leap. So, yeah, prepare yourself. Because there's a lot that's about to come through. So, hey Zoegi. I don't know how to pronounce your name, so I'm not even going to try and butcher your name. But hey girl, you know I'm talking to you. Right, here we go. Right, so full moon. What is the full moon about? Okay, so first of all, I want to talk about how the moon affects us as humans. As the moon affects everything. You can look out, go down to the sea, and you can see that the moon is what draws in the tides. So the moon has such impact that it's able to bring in water. It affects the water of the earth. So in the fact that it has the ability to affect the water in the earth, it also has the ability to affect us. Why? Because we're almost like 70% water. So, and emotions, like our emotional self, this is what the moon really, really, really affects. So, especially knowing your moon sign, that's really good to kind of track daily with the moon, when the moon changes every 2 days, because you get to understand, okay, what is the influences on my emotional mind right now. Oh, hey girl, yeah, just hit me up, just message me or call me, I'll be here. So that's cool. um so yeah, this is the where the word lunatic also comes from. So being exposed to a lot of lunar energies, or melatonin, that can alter how you feel a lot of the time. And this is where a lot of craziness ends up happening on the full moon. It's like the spotlight's just been put on craziness and it just can go loose. So that's kind of like what the full moon is all about. So right now the moon is becoming illuminated. It won't hit until, when is the full moon? On the 18th. So I believe that's on Friday or Saturday, one of the two. I don't even know where we are in the week. But so yeah, the moon is coming up to this bright point in the sky where it's illuminating everything. Now, this is how Scorpio comes in. Scorpio is all about the depths, the deepest of the depths. Let me kind of break down the water signs in a way that we'll kind of understand. So the water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So Cancer, represented by the crab, is like it's like they don't like to go, like they only like shallow waters. Girl, don't even be afraid. Yeah, the one thing I want to say, anything when it comes to transits or intense transits at that, never be afraid of it. It's just teaching us something, and it's just almost like creating that forceful change. That's what that kind of creates. So Scorpio, oh sorry, I was talking about the water signs. Cancer, they kind of skim the waters. Pisces, they're the fish, so they like to swim right in the middle of the waters. Like they can flow. This is why they're all about flowing. And Scorpio is a different kettle of fish. Scorpio is all about the deeps of the deeps, the depths of the depths, the darkest of the darkest. Is literally representative of our underworlds. So a lot of our unconscious nature, our subconscious nature, a lot of the things that we don't like to take control of, this is what this brings up. And this full moon is all about letting go, learning to release, learning to let go of negative patterns, negative thoughts, people, shifting blocks, just all of that. But I want to go back to the people thing, because everyone's all about, yeah, I'm cutting off this person, I'm cutting off that person. There's a balance to this thing. And I'm going to be creating a podcast called Self-Love versus Self-Love versus Selflessness. I'm in the process of creating that because I think this is another thing that we need to address. Self-love versus selfishness. There's a toxic side of spirituality that's coming out at the moment, where yes, at least we're starting to accept self-love. We're starting to incorporate this into our lives and stuff like that. Cool. But there can be a level of selfishness that we can almost do. So everyone's talking about, oh, I'm going to cut out this person, I'm going to cut out that person. You cutting that person out, it's not to say that there isn't people that we need to cut out of their lives. Trust me, there's some people we need to cut out. But some people we cut out of our lives because of our lack of emotional intelligence and our lack of communication and our lack of taking accountability for the things, for our own actions. That's the shit. that's toxic. That shit needs to go too, because that is connected to victimhood. It's very narcissistic in itself. Like, no one wants to take accountability for their actions. That needs to go. So I will be doing a podcast about that will go into more depth into that. But Scorpio full moon is all to do with breaking curses, generational, ancestral, self-inflicted. Okay? Because not every curse is from someone else. It's not all from our parents. It's not all from someone dashing obia on you. Yeah? It's not all because someone's attacking you. Most of the time, it's us attacking ourselves. And this is what I mean about taking control and taking accountability for your own mind, your own emotions, all of these different things. There was something else that Spirit was also bringing through to me with regards to this specific full moon, and it was curses that have been picked up, or attachments that have been picked up sexually. Scorpio is all to do with it's a very sexual energy in itself, very, very intense. But there are attachments that we can pick up from people sexually. There is a book, especially for women. I'm not sure of any books for men at the moment. When I find out, I'll give you that. But there is a book by Queen Afua who talks about the angry vagina, and it's about just how we willingly, I can't even say the word, don't laugh at me, just give our power to like so many different people, and they literally have they're holding a part of us, but we're holding a part of them. And this is where soul ties come into play. So this is another thing that needs to be addressed, because there's a lot of soul ties, attachments that we have attached from people that we've encountered with sexually, emotionally, just all these different types of connections that we've got. We've got these attachments, and we need to learn to get rid of that, because that is what is feeding a lot of the bullshit right now. Just to be frank, completely frank. So that's another thing that we need to look into. So this full moon is all about releasing, cutting, breaking. Definitely recommend cord cutting. So this is where you can, a very simple way to do this is almost visualizing a cord that is attached to the person that you're trying to detach from, and visualizing it just separating itself from you, breaking it. You can even cut a cord. You can create get a piece of string, get a piece of scissors. Do what you feel led to do. I'm not, in this live and in all of my lives, I'm not going to give you everything, because I want you to understand that you have the wisdom within yourself. You just need to unlock it. Learn to trust your own power. Learn to trust your own magic. You are manifesting what you desire. So learn to tap into it. Sorry, I'm just going to read some of your comments here. Hi Marsha, how you doing? There's a little reunion here. I love it. Yeah, I'll come back to these messages soon. But yeah, this is the time to retrieve your power from wherever it's been trapped or left or taken. I'm going to speak to people who have gone through sexual abuse right now, or sexual trauma. Sorry, I'm getting messages at the same time. There is a lot of the time we can't heal ourselves. I'm also someone who's gone through sexual trauma. I don't like to say I'm a survivor of sexual abuse. I don't like to hold attachments to my pain. And this is what I'm talking about, holding attachments to your pain, wherever it may be. Yes, sometimes it can be like, yeah, I've gone through this, and yeah, this makes me stronger. But it's like, okay, but it's still a baggage that you're carrying with you. And especially with regarding what I was talking about, the retrieving of power. Whenever you've gone through sexual abuse, the reason why a lot of us can struggle from low self-esteem, low self-worth, is because our power is still left with the person who took it from us, who violated us, and it's your choice to take it back. It's yours. It's not theirs. And this is the thing. Healing is a choice. Healing is, yes, it is an intense journey. Yes, it takes a lot to kind of heal and get over these things. But essentially, it's a choice. Healing starts the moment you say, do you know what? I'm done. Yeah? I want better for me. Like, I need to release all of this. I wanna tap into my potential. I wanna be able to glow. I wanna be able to shine. I wanna be able to do everything I know I need to be doing. Like, you can't be doing that, having these attachments to your pain, to your trauma. So yeah, it's time to heal. Yeah, whoever holds your power, visualize yourself retrieving your power back and placing them back into your energies, your energetic centers. Place them back into your heart. Place them back into your sacral chakra. A lot of us, we hold trauma in our sacral chakra. That's where our emotions get blocked and get trapped. And in our solar plexus, your solar plexus and your heart. These are your two main centers, your inner sun and your heart. Those two places is where you feel your intuition. If you're whenever you feel something, you either feel it in your stomach or you feel it in your heart. So pay attention to these areas and put the power back in those places. Okay. So breaking soul contracts as well. So there's soul contracts that we have that some of them need to be maintained, some of them are cool, some of them are very toxic. And I wanted to go into the topic of soulmates because this topic really, really, really gripes me. Because everyone's talking about, oh, I got a soulmate, I got a twin flame, I got this, I got that. Soulmates are not just your significant other, someone that you can be a partner with. Soulmates can be anyone who can teach you a lesson, anyone who can wake you up, whether that's in a good way or a bad way. Yeah, soulmates are that ex that pissed you off, that you wanted to scrape up his car and go drop kick him in his forehead. Yeah, he's your soulmate too. He was sent for you to learn, for you to realize, actually, I shouldn't be treated like this. Actually, I deserve so much better. Actually, this has awakened this in me. Actually, that's what soulmates do. So we need to kind of like re-clarify our understanding of soulmates, because that will definitely help us a lot when we begin to understand, actually, I'm in conflict with you, but I'm just mirroring you right now. And as we're in Pluto retrograde, Saturn retrograde, a lot of that is going to be coming up right now. A lot of karmic throwbacks, like, that we have to heal from. This is what we need to understand as well. This is what takes us out of the victim mindset. Whatever we experience in this lifetime, in this incarnation, is karmic, whether it's good or bad. So I hear a lot of people talking about, oh, but I'm such a good person, and da-da-da-da-da, and da-da-da-da-da. Okay, that might be cool for now, but doesn't mean to say that last lifetime or the last lifetime before this that you was exactly perfect. So it's all karma. And when we understand our karmic influences, we understand what it is that we're healing through in this lifetime, and what it is that will essentially guide us to our ascension, to our evolution, because we're here to just make things right this time. So, yes, I was talking about being mirrors, and This is another thing that was coming through to me, with karmic, with a lot of the karmic influences. It's the same stories playing over and over and over and over and over again. It's almost like Disney. These stories, these things that we attract, is the same thing over and over and over and over again. And we're going to do something at the end of this. Well, we're going to talk about it. You're going to do this in your own time. But I'm going to give an exercise to go through in learning how to rewrite our story. Because we've been doing the same story, living the same story, speaking the same story over and over and over again. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So this Scorpio full moon, we're gonna write our story, exactly how we feel, like raw as you want to be, as painful as it gets. We're gonna write that story, and I'll go into that a bit later. But the next full moon after that, we're gonna rewrite it a different way. So this is gonna be really interesting next 2 months for us. So yeah, we just need to change the story and understand our own power, and understand that we have the power to completely transform our lives. Like, the choice is up to us to move away. So, oh gosh, what's going on here? Right, so I wanted to mention this as well. Scorpio full moon is very, very, very intense. I'm a Scorpio moon, so I don't know what happened there. I know what this moon is like, and it's hitting me on my exact degree. This is gonna bring up, if you don't know how to deal with things, how am I gonna say this? There's just a lot of depression and anxiety that will come up right now. So you need to learn emotional intelligence in this time, because now we need to speak. Now we actually need to speak. We need to go and find people that you feel comfortable with, because we're so used to trapping in our pain. That's killing us. If you could have a visual representation of what energy and emotions does to your body unaware, you'd be surprised. That's what actually makes a lot of us ill. The fact that we don't actually take care of our emotions, or release, or learn how to transmute our emotions. Imagine you feel an emotion, you feel anger, you feel rage, you feel that in your body. There's places you can feel it as well. Where is that energy going if you don't release it? It gets trapped in your body, and this can cause physical pain. This can even cause a lot of chronic illnesses that doctors don't even know what it is. It's emotional pain. It's trauma. And once you clear that out, you'll be able to heal yourself so much better. So take this time to really go around water. Be around water in this time. I'm feeling a very nurturing energy. Very nurturing, but motherly energy right now. So go to a stream, go to a river, take spiritual baths. Take spiritual baths. You can put some herbs, you can put some oils in your bath. Do what you feel led. I'm not going to be telling you every little thing to do, but just do what you feel led to do. Just make sure you do it. That's all I'm asking you to do. Just make sure you do it. Nurture your inner child. I'm gonna be bringing out inner child healing as part of the services with Soul-Reconnection soon. But what this is about is, especially for those who's gone through a lot of childhood trauma, it's like you have, so if you see a child out on the road who's gone through some type of trauma, you would have some kind of compassion for that child, right? You'd want to hug them, you want to comfort them, you'd want to make sure that they're okay. But when it comes to us and our connection to our child self, our inner child, our true emotions, a lot of us are like, oh, I don't want to feel like that. Oh, that's silly. Oh, you call your inner child silly. You call your inner child stupid. All of these different self-limiting affirmations that we affirm to ourselves, like the inner child is still sentient in itself. Yes, you have grown, but when it comes to trauma, a lot of us are trapped at the same point, the same age that we receive trauma. So if you receive trauma at 3, you could be stuck at 3. Could have received trauma at 9, you're stuck at 9. So that child, that inner child, has to go through a course to be able to catch up to adult Naomi, adult Matriarch, adult this person, adult that person. So yeah, really take time to be to nurture your inner child, and just nurturing that in itself would be healing in itself. So yeah, another thing about Scorpio, it goes right to the truth. Like, Scorpio don't play with like any illusions. So any illusions that we've created for ourselves, that's about to be ripped off, and that can be very painful, but it's very necessary, because why would you want to be in an illusion, you know? So it's gonna reveal a lot. It could reveal family secrets. It could reveal just stuff that if what's been happening for me is that there's a lot of stuff that's been unconscious that I've been like, oh wow, I didn't even know that was there. Oh, okay, that's another thing I need to heal from. Oh, okay, put that on the list. That's been happening to me a lot. Like, things that was just subconscious that I just skipped over completely. So, like, it's going to reveal a lot, and you have to allow yourself to go through the process. Make sure you set time aside for your healing. That's another thing, because everyone wants to heal. Oh, yeah, I want to heal. What time do you put aside for your healing? Oh, I never have any time. Okay, well, then you'll never heal. Like, time is what do you prioritize? Do you prioritize your healing? Like, I even say to people who come to me and are like, oh, I really, really want to book your service, but I just can't right now. I don't have any money. Okay, I understand that. You know, it's not like I'm not a rich person myself. I understand the grind. However, I understand that it's priority. Like, you can like, if you see your healing as a priority, like, for example, weed smokers, you know that you're going to be spending this amount of money on weed per month, right? Me too. So, like, is that a necessity? Like, where are you spending your money? Like, how beneficial is your spending? Like, really prioritize all these different things. So yeah, get into the nitty gritty. What else is here? Right, so resentments. Okay, so resentments and fears. What this full moon is gonna do is it's literally gonna take a massive light and shine it on all your fears. And that's great. That is so beautiful. I know there's some people that probably be wanting to knock me out saying that. But it's so beautiful. Why? Because the only way you can cure your pain, your fear, or conquer your fear, is by facing it head on. Like, running straight into it. Like, no, you don't control me. So this is the perfect time, and I'm going to challenge you. Pick one thing that really, really frightens you. It's funny because even today, my I have a insecurity with my lips, and I grew up just feeling like they were massive. I just have massive lips. Again, a lot of programming has taken place, but now I actually like make sure I outline all of my lips and wear I usually wear bright lipstick. I haven't done so since I've had my son. Maybe like the universe is just like, yeah, tone down your light a little bit. But yeah, like just if you have like an insecurity with your lips, like make sure you wear like bold lipstick or something. Like if you are scared to say something to someone because you don't know what their reaction will be, say it. Chances are their reaction is not as fearful as you perceive. You know, these are all self-limiting things that we put on ourselves. So with this transit as well, so there's so Neptune is going to trine the North Node, and so this is going to bring like a deep connection to whatever you call God, the universe, higher self, source, whatever you give that name. This is the time you're going to feel intensely connected to that, because the North Node is all about our soul mission, like where we're going, like what we're doing, how we live out our purpose. So this time, like really take time to just go in. Like this is not a time to be extroverted. So a lot of my extroverts here, you're probably gonna find these types of transits really trying, because what it's teaching you to do is to go inwards, which a lot of people would just feel like they need to go outwards. But it's a time to go in, it's a time to reflect, it's a time to think, it's a time to, you know, really figure out what's going there. And I want you to ask yourself, all of these fawns that I have, where did they come from and why are they here? Like, why did I have to have this thorn in particular? Like, really evaluate all of these different things. And what I want you to do is write it down. There's a technique called free writing. I've spoken about this in a previous live, where you can literally just channel out exactly what's in your mind. What it is we create that blockage in our mind. Let me say this first, because a lot of people ask me, how do I know if I'm psychic or if I've got intuition? Everyone's got intuition, okay? Just not everyone listens to it. Sorry, my reception. Just for the purpose of being universal. And I want to say this as well. I'm moving more into a universal space with Soul-Reconnection, just because I understand that there's a lot of people that come to my platform that have either just left religion or Christianity, or just beginning to this whole spiritual thing, and they just don't know where to go. So my platform is a very universal platform where it's welcoming of everyone. So I'm making sure that my language is in line that everyone can understand. So just put that out there. So yeah, evaluate, where did your thorns come from? Why? That's what I was talking about, free writing. We this is my Gemini. This is where I have to write stuff down. I was talking about intuition, actually. Yeah. So everyone has intuition, just not everyone pays attention to it. So when you're writing, like, don't think about what you're writing. Train yourself to just write. Don't even think about the next word. Like, if you don't know a next word to write, just keep writing the last word over and over again, so that you just keep that flow going. Allow everything to come out. Like, even speak to your inner child. What does she have to say? What does he have to say? How is he feeling? How is she feeling? Our inner child hasn't had a voice since we felt that trauma. Like, They need to have a voice. So listen to them. What are they saying? That gives you massive, massive indication to what you're healing. I've gone part. Oh, this is another thing that was coming up. So, so move beyond needless nightmares and be the driver of your ship. Right? So that we create nightmares for ourselves where we're overthinking and we end up going to places that we just don't need to go. Like, it really wasn't that deep. Where are you going? How did you end up there? Who told you to fast up there anyway? So stop creating these needless nightmares for ourselves. You know, again, this is our fears taken into playing into effect there. There was something that was coming to me as well. I still read the Bible from a metaphysical perspective, and there in the Bible it talks about there being you having faith as a mustard seed, and saying, well, like, you can speak to that mountain and it can just move. Now, it's interesting because this whole week I've been hearing dissolve the mountain, and I've been like, what? Didn't realize, I forgot that was actually in the Bible. But that is that separate this example of itself, of dissolving the mountain, is what separates. Someone can't get in. What's going on with my life? It separates an alchemist, someone who's able to transmute all of their elements, or command all of their elements and transmute it into something else, and just an everyday person. Because an everyday person will find ways to, like, shortcut the mountain. You know, what's the shortest way to get over this mountain? You know, what's the least, the way with least obstacles. We always like to take that route. Whereas an alchemist is someone who will be like, okay, I see this mountain. I see this blockage right in front of me. Yeah, it's a clear blockage. Okay. Now this blockage doesn't exist. How about that? That is alchemy. You now taking the power to just completely remove the thing and operate like it doesn't exist. And it doesn't mean to say skipping, sweeping things under the carpet. That's another thing I don't celebrate here. Like, really deal with everything, clear everything out. Like, don't skip over stuff. Jesus himself was an alchemist. Like, the word high priest, Jesus was a high priest. Moses was a high priest. Melchizedek was a high priest. The word high priest comes from the word magi, which also comes from the word magic or magician. And these were people who could command the elements. What did Moses do? He commanded the element of fire with the burning bush. He commanded the element of water with where he was able to go through the water. Now, I believe that these stories are metaphorical stories given to us for our enlightenment, but there's really, really, really big power in that. Like, learning to command your elements. Like, there's the inner fire within us that connects to the outer fire out there, the inner water with the waters out there, and like the elements, fire, water, air, earth. Like, that's our whole reality. That's our whole 3D reality. So, there's ways that we can do that, and I go into that into my my coaching sessions. I've been doing them on a private basis recently, just so I can kind of get myself back into work mode. But I will be releasing them shortly, once I finish all these launches and stuff about alchemical coaching. So, learn to build solid emotional grounding. Learn to communicate your emotions and really communicate how you feel. Don't expect people to just understand how you feel. People are not mind readers, and you shouldn't expect them to be so. So let's really, really, really come into emotional intelligence in that place in this time. I know I've said that a few times. I'm going to try and speed up. I don't think I'm going to be able to get through all of this in this live. But let me just skip through. So there's 4 stages of alchemy. Again, this is another podcast that I'll go into and go a bit more depth into. There's 7 as well, but just for the contents of this conversation, we'll just speak about the 4. So the first stage of alchemy is the blackening, and this is like where everything just, this can be like the dark night of the soul, but it's also like the place where Cece, thank you for all the love hearts. This is the place where we can deeply explore ourselves, if we allow ourselves to. So this is like the next level after you like, okay, do you know what? Cool, I'm going to deal with this. You go into the blackening stage. It's dark night of the soul. Then you go into a space of discovery, which is called the whitening phase. This is when you can start to be able to see the truth beyond the illusions that we've kind of set ourselves through. And then we go into an absorbing stage, which is called the yellowing stage. And this is when we can almost begin to understand and absorb the essence of our power through all of these stages that we've been through before. And then we go into the reddening stage, which is where you can execute your discoveries and then execute the wisdom that you've collected in your experiences. So that's like the whole process that we go through when we choose to alchemize our situations. So I will do another live in this that will go into depth a bit better. But for the purpose of so this is the exercise that we're getting into now. So full moon in Scorpio. This will be your little exercise that you will do. So we're shedding the old versions of ourselves. There's an energy that's taking place, even with myself, where our identities is being redefined. Who we thought we were, who we thought we were supposed to do, or who we thought we were supposed to be, what we thought we were supposed to do, is almost like we thought it was this way, but it's actually a little bit that way. And we're going through this like rediscovery purpose where we're like, oh, okay, cool, this is how I can do it. So like we're coming into new identity. So for us to like fully embrace this new identity that we're coming into, we need to shed the old version of ourselves. We need to shed the old story. So write down everything, all your pain, all your struggles. I'm going to give you a few questions as well that you can go through as well. But just explore. And then next month on the full moon in Sagittarius, it's interesting about this kind of Scorpio to Sagittarius. Scorpio is like the death. Sagittarius is like the life, the rebirth, the phoenix, the rejuvenation, the launching of new philosophies and all that kind of stuff. That's what that's all about. So like this moon, write the pain. Next moon, we're going to change the story. We're going to literally like use it like a prophecy, like a self-fulfilling prophecy of ourselves that we're just going to write down. So there's 5 questions that I want you to take into account. So have I been jealous? Have I been vengeful? Have I been controlling? Have I been possessive? Have I been overly suspicious? Have I been overly paranoid? What toxic behaviors have you been? And really be real with yourself on that. Have you been narcissistic? Just be real. Have I been living out of my fears as opposed to my joys? A lot of us can probably attest to that. And have I been focusing more on the negative than the positive? A lot of us have very pessimistic attitudes, and again, this self-limiting beliefs. We can literally cancel out what our purpose, like, daily, just by, oh, I can't do, I'm not really good at that. All these little things that we say about ourselves. It can be very small, it could be big, but the fact of the matter is, it's there, and we have to address it. Have I been have you been cruel? Have you been cruel to anyone? Have you been bad mind? Like, really address it, because now is the time that you actually need to give them apologies. This is accountability here. And another one that I was getting through, are you having deep sexual encounters with either yourself? The sex, and I mean, you can be masturbating and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's good for actually, like, understanding yourself. But are you, those who are actually in relationships, are you having the deep sexual encounters that you desire? Are you having that deep heart connection, heart to heart, soul to soul? Be real with yourself, because that's very real. A lot of us, that's what we crave for, that deep, intimate desire. Or connection, heart connection with someone. If you're not getting that, then you don't really feel like, you're living. So, yeah. I think that's about it. There was some other stuff that I wanted to go into, but I don't feel like it's necessary right now. So, I'm hoping that you enjoyed this live. I will be doing more lives. I'm going to try and do the new moons and the full moons, subject to baby being sorted out and everything. So look out for that. I'll be definitely dropping more videos as well. Remember, you can actually go to my website now. It hasn't fully launched yet, but please sign up to the mailing list so that I can let you know when we are launching. It's www.soul-reconnection.com. You can find my Facebook page as well. There's also my services that you can get there, whether you need a natal chart reading, oracle reading, intuitive service, whatever you need. Just go down to my my Facebook page and that will be there. So yeah, let me know. Continue this conversation. I'm gonna continue to go back through the comments when I come off of this, but if you guys have any more comments that you want to drop back on this live, feel free and I'll come back to it. But until next time, I'll see you guys later.